Hello? Oh, fuck. I didn't open VideoTuber. Guys, I do this every time. I'm sorry. I'll get better.
Sorry?
I didn't open VideoTube for my PNG.
What is that?
It's for my PNG tuber.
Oh.
It's for my little
Do
guy.
you not
There I
use
am.
Reactive anymore?
No, I don't actually. I mean, I still have it. Like, I can still pull.
So where am I?
I'll get you. Hold on. Hold.
How do I update it?
Hold your silly little horses.
Never.
There you are. I'll put you.
Your delay is like 30 seconds, so I'll see.
It's not that bad.
It's not horrible.
It's
but
fine.
I just gotta wait to see.
It's fine. It's fine. Alright, it's fine. Okay. Well, hi guys.
Oh yeah, there I am.
Yeah, see? So,
I want to see
today...
something funny.
Oh god, what? I will
Look at my
kill
little... Eh.
you. Oh my lord. Oh my god. I'm holding them, bro. Okay. So yeah, guys. Autism stream.
Autism! Hi, Faceless!
Woo! Autism! Long story short, I was at a party tonight. It was an autism party. It was a room full of autistic theater kids, who all had slideshows about their special interests. And my slideshow is 52 slides long, and I will be subjecting all of you to it. You have no choice. Woo! Autism stream! Autism stream! Autism stream!
I also promoted you the stream in a Spaces server.
This is very kind. I feel very loved and cared about. I feel like anytime anyone like promotes me somewhere, I feel like they're giving me a little forehead kiss. A little pat on the head.
Real.
Real. Okay. So, let me screen capture. Why? Okay.
Yeah, that's a diagnosis. So real.
Shush. Shush, swamp bomb. What is that open on? Make sure there's nothing incriminating. Okay, I don't see anything incriminating. Okay. So. It's on The Walking Dead. So this is... Of course it is. Yeah, what else would it be on? What else would it be on? Like... I don't...
Be on Ruby TTT.
No! It should be on The Walking Dead. Because it's the best piece of media to ever exist. Anyways, chat. So yeah, this is 52 slides. And this is your first, final, and only warning. If you have not seen The Walking Dead, and you want to, or you think you might want to, then just leave. Or stay. Up to you. You're shocked it's not on Red Dead 2. Yeah, that's real. I have over 200 hours of gameplay on Red Dead 2, which actually isn't as impressive as I like to think it is. But yeah, no. This is like it for me. This is like peak special interest for me. So we're gonna get into it. So The Walking Dead, a deep dive into the original series by Visible Stripes, aka Dakota, aka The Cripple. Yeah, you're playing Project Zomboid? I hate that game. Will there be spoilers because you wanted me to watch this? Yes, this is the most amount of spoilers you could ever get, ever. We are breaking apart each season and saying all of the important things that happen in each season. So if you don't want spoilers, leave now. That's all I'm
Also,
gonna say.
don't forget to like the stream.
Yeah, guys, you should hit the like button. It's free, and I would be very happy if you did. You don't have to subscribe. You can just click the button. That's all I care about. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to be fair. Okay. So, The Walking Dead and zombies in general is/are my favorite special interest, and I've watched the show now officially for 28 times. So yeah, I really like this show. This has stayed my special interest for almost 10 years now. I'm gonna be 21 pretty soon. And, yeah, I'm not ashamed of this at all. So season 1 have some pretty important characters here. So over here, this dude right here, this is Rick. Rick is like the main character. He's the dude, right? This is Shane. I can't remember this guy's name, but he will be coming up later. So when I say the like father from the beginning, this is who I'm referring to. These are his kids. And this lady is important. This is Carol. This is Sophia. This is Merle. Merle's super racist. Like, big racist. Like, says the N-word. And it's the only time that the N-word is said on the show. And I was, like, taken aback every time. Glenn's over here. Who else is here? Andrea. Andrea's pretty important. And then this is just, like, a group of them. So here we have Lori. This is Carl. This is Daryl here. This is a scientist. That's really all the oh, T-Dog's back there. So, a lot of people. So, the show's first season is only 6 episodes, and it takes place over the span of a few days. In episode 1, Morgan told Rick that water resources had been gone for about a month, so we know that the world was still normal when Rick got shot and went into a coma. And we saw that Shane came to visit him and tried to even rescue him after the outbreak. It seems that things went awry just weeks after Rick's accident, so we're looking at around 2 months or 60 days since the outbreak. That's enough time for the loss of our normal life things to completely fade. Now, Rick spends a day with Morgan, finds his family the next day, and spends another random day fooling around with genuinely fake gangsters in downtown Atlanta at a retirement home. Rip, no way they made it for long. Meanwhile, Dr. Jenner, the scientist I was talking about, recorded a video and pinpointed that they were on day 63 of the virus going global. We're using this to set our whole The Walking Dead timeline, much like The Last of Us sets theirs with Outbreak Day. And on day 64, the CDC went kaboom, thanks to Jenner. Good times, and the end of season 1. So, just some key points. Rick wakes up from a coma and meets Glenn, Merle, and T-Dog in Georgia. The group returns to the survivors' camp, where Rick reunites with his wife Lori and son Carl. Walkers attack the camp and kill 2 survivors, Amy and Carol's husband Ed. The gang head to the CDC in the hope of a cure, but are told there isn't one. A total of 63 days has passed since the start of the apocalypse, and so far, the character-named deaths are Amy, Ed, and Jackie. So, also a thing I didn't add on here, because I genuinely just forgot, Merle, the really racist guy, gets trapped on a roof in Atlanta and, like, is handcuffed to a roof, and a key is dropped down, like, a drain, and, like, they accidentally dropped it. And so they just leave him. They just leave him there. But then they try to go back for him to, like, free him, and he's just gone. Like, his hand, he saws his hand off. It's pretty intense, not gonna lie. Anyways. Season 2. A lot goes on in season 2. Obviously you guys can still recognize some faces here. But this is Herschel. And then back here is Otis. So those are some oh, and then this is Maggie. You're gonna need to remember Maggie. She's important. So this season's timeline is a little looser. The days are pretty much day 65 to 88. It opens with Rick telling Morgan about the CDC event, which he said happened 2 days prior, so that puts us at about day 66. Then the rest of the season is basically the group at Herschel's farm because while traveling, they got caught in a small herd, and Sophia, the youngest little girl, runs away into the woods and gets lost. Later in the season, Daryl admits that he had been looking for Sophia for a few weeks, and it would have taken that long for Carl to heal as well as he did after being shot. Because, by the way, Carl gets literally shot in the chest by Otis because they were hunting, and it was all an accident, but it was a pretty crazy scene. So from there, Herschel's daughter, Beth, tries to kill herself, and Maggie decides to, Glenn, we also find out that Lori is pregnant, and she tries to abort her baby by attempting to overdose on Plan B, which really helps our timeline in future seasons of The Walking Dead.
Go.
I know. She does not go. She's fine. She's fine. She, like, immediately regret it, and then, like, threw up the pills and all that. But yeah, even in a zombie-riddled world, a pregnancy still does take 9 freaking months. So we're able to understand the timeline of season 2 and season 3 because of that. Eventually, it is found out that Sophia's animated corpse has been in a barn on the farm the whole time with like 30 plus other zombies because Herschel and his family believe that there will somehow be a cure that can like fix these zombies. And so the farm gets attacked by herd after Shane goes insane and Rick has to kill him. Then the farm somehow is on fire and the group scrambles to leave and it's like a whole thing.
El Bozo died to a can of lead.
Real. So just the key points on the deaths. Carol's daughter Sophia goes missing after running off into the woods. Carl is accidentally shot by a wandering hunter, Otis, and the boy is operated on by the local Dr. Herschel on his farm, which, by the way, Herschel's not like a people doctor. Herschel's a vet. So, take that as you will. Shane leaves Otis for dead. Shane and Otis go to, like, this local high school to try to get, like, medical supplies and stuff for, Carl. And straight up, like, they could have gotten away. And then Shane just shot Otis and was like, bye-bye. Glenn and Herschel's eldest daughter, Maggie, start a relationship. Lori is revealed to be pregnant. Glenn finds out the barn on Herschel's farm is filled with walkers, who Herschel believes to be still people. Sophia is found. She's a walker, and Rick is forced to kill her. A gang attack Herschel, Rick, and Shane. They capture one, Randall, and take him back to the farm. Dale is just randomly killed by a stray walker. Shane murders Randall, but lies about it, saying instead that he escaped and attacked him. Rick kills Shane after the two clash in a field, but Carl finishes the job with a headshot on an undead Shane, which is technically Carl's first zombie kill, but like we count that as not just a zombie kill, because it was like a fresh zombie. Walkers invade the farm because the gunshot like draws them in. Rick tells the group the CDC scientist's words that everyone will turn into a walker once they die. The group escape the farm, though Andrea gets separated from the group and is found by the katana-wielding Michonne. And the deaths are Otis, Sophia, Dale, Randall, and Shane. RIP. So season 3. This guy is the governor. And then, who else do we have? These are some prisoners that they found in the prison, which they end up going to and staying at. So, yeah, season 3 kicks off 8 months after season 2 ended, with Rick and the survivors taking back a prison from the walkers to use as a new home. Lori, meanwhile, is heavily pregnant with her second child, And so we can figure out from that she's about 7 to 8 months pregnant. Like, she's not, like, going to give birth, like, auto immediately, but, like, she does eventually. So during the battle for the prison, Herschel is bitten on the leg and it has it amputated to avoid turning. The remaining prisoners are, ironically, held captive by the group in a different wing of the prison. Andrea and Michonne are taken in by Merle, who is the guy who is super racist, who now aligns with the community of Woodbury and their leader, the governor. In comes the first big bad ever. Back at the prison, walkers are lured in by alarms and all hell breaks loose. T-Dog is killed trying to save Carol, while Laurie gives birth to a daughter, Judith, and Carl is forced to mercifully kill his own mother, which that is his technical first kill. Michonne leaves Woodbury and, after Merle captures Glenn and Maggie, takes some much-needed supplies to a depleted prison. After recuperating, everyone heads over to Woodbury and take back Glenn and Maggie, and Michonne stabs the governor clean in the eyeball. The second half of the season sees Woodbury eventually liberated from the governor's control, but not without casualties. Merle's killed thanks to the governor, as is Andrea, who secretly worked against the governor. The remaining main Woodbury residents, siblings Sasha and Tyrese, are invited into the prison community. But wait, how does that get us to day 499? Well, there's a time jump of around 6 months between the end of Season 3 and Season 4's debut to show how the prison begins to thrive, as much as you can in this world. So, we'll count that into this season, even though it takes place off-screen. Also, an important thing to mention is that the governor has had a wife and a daughter. The wife is not shown anymore, like, in the show. However, his daughter is, and it's a huge plot point, because he keeps his dead, reanimated daughter's corpse in a closet and, like, brushes her hair like she's a doll, and it's super creepy. Yeah, it's super creepy, by the way. Like, no.
Don't say the name of it, though.
Don't. Season 3 key points. So, the group sets up base in the prison. Herschel has his leg amputated. Andrea and Michonne go to live in Woodbury. T-Dog dies while trying to save Carol. Laurie gives birth to a daughter and dies. Glenn and Maggie are captured by the governor. Merle's killed thanks to the governor's actions. Andrea dies after turning on the governor. Woodbury is overrun with walkers. Sasha and Tyrese, who used to live in Woodbury, join the main group. So the deaths are T-Dog, Laurie, Merle, and Andrea. Moving on to Season 4, one of my personal, just, like, favorite seasons. For many, many reasons, but mostly because of these two and her. Yay! So, we know for a fact that Season 4's second episode, Infected, is day 500 on The Walking Dead's timeline, because AMC said so. That's a year and 5-ish months. By this point, there are farm animals, and Judith is steadily getting bigger, but is being carried around constantly. Things slow down again this season in terms of time. Things at the prison soon spiral out of control thanks to a disease spread by livestock on the grounds. The group are forced to make some tough decisions, including quarantining the infected. 2 of those with the disease, David and Tyrese's girlfriend Karen, are murdered. The culprit is later revealed to be Carol. The governor also strikes back at the prison and encounters the Chandler family, Lily, Tara, and Megan. He kidnaps Michonne and Herschel, executing the latter and starting an all-out war at the prison. The governor is eventually defeated and killed by Lily, while the original group of survivors fracture and go their separate ways in the chaos, with Judith being taken in by Carol and Tyrese. One large group begins to form, consisting of Daryl, Beth, Carol, Tyrese, Judith, sisters Lizzie and Mika, Sasha, Bob and Maggie, while Glenn meets Abraham, Rosita, and Eugene, who are on the way to Washington, D.C. to make a cure because Eugene is apparently a scientist. No, he is not. Rick, Michonne, and Carl hunt for the remaining members of the group. All roads, though, lead to Terminus, a promising new community. Along the way, Carol is forced to kill Lizzie after she kills her sister, and Beth is also captured by a mysterious set of strangers. Everyone, barring Carol's group, is eventually captured at Terminus, though Rick ends the season with a rallying cry, banding together the new ensemble, featuring those that Glenn found, the surviving members of the prison, and Tara, our first gay character in the show. We love Tara.
I love,
Hmm?
um, I
Hmm?
love gay people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you now?
I do.
Yeah. So the key points are, many become infected at the prison thanks to a virus. David and Karen are mysteriously killed. The governor beheads Herschel in one final assault on the prison, but is killed himself. The group are all split up after the prison is overrun. Beth is abducted. Everyone barring Carol, Judith, and Tyrese reunite at Terminus, but are held at gunpoint by the leader, Gareth. So the dead are Herschel, the governor, Lily, Mika, and Lizzie. Sad times. But now we have season 5, which honestly could be worse, could be better. You know, one of those seasons, am I right? So, season 5, we're still at about a year and a half. Everything around this time kind of happens like really quickly. So, the first half of the season deals with the recovery of Beth, who is found working under the watchful eye of Dawn, a crazed police officer turned hospital leader. This all comes after an explosive opening episode, which sees Carol dispatch much of Terminus's members while also rescuing the group. Rick meets Father Gabriel, who deserted his congregation in the wake of the Walker outbreak. While there, the ex-leader of Terminus, Gareth, leaves his remaining group to attack and kill Bob, who they then eat. Later attempts to rescue Beth include Carol being wheeled into the hospital after an accident, though it ends in tragedy after Beth stabs Dawn and Dawn kills Beth. Sasha's brother Tyrese also dies during a trip to rescue hospital worker Noah's family. After Eugene lies about having a cure, the group divert their attention to the walled community of Alexandria after they are invited by one of his residents, Aaron, who's also gay and has a husband. Things eventually descend into paranoia, aimed at the new members of Alexandria, with one Alexandrian, Pete, who's an abusive piece of shit, becoming jealous over Rick's attention towards his wife. Despite initial protests against his hardened attitude, the Alexandrians and their leader, Deanna, eventually warm towards Rick, who is forced to kill Pete after he accidentally stabs Deanna's husband, Reg. The season ends with scavengers, the wolves, on the outskirts of Alexandria, and Morgan returning after a brief appearances in the pilot and in season 3. Carol rescues the group in Terminus. Rick reunites with Judith. The group meets Father Gabriel. Bob and Tyrese both die. Carol is also abducted by the same group that took Beth. We discover Beth is now working at a makeshift hospital. Eugene lied about having a cure. Beth dies. The group befriended Aaron, a member of the town of Alexandria, and settle into the community. The wolves scout out Alexandria, and Morgan returns. I was about to say your chat wasn't working, but it just loaded. Ignore my dog profile picture on here. This was in season 5. It was in season 5! Also, babe, there's gonna be spoilers. There's gonna be a lot of spoilers. Like, a lot of spoilers. So you should tab off. It is! It is! That's my wife. I love my wife. She's great. Guys, I want to kiss my wife. She was just here, like, literally, like, 5 days ago, but I really want to kiss her, because I miss her. Yeah. Anyways, so Beth, Dawn, Bob, Tyrese, Deanna's son Aiden, Noah, Reg, and Pete, all fucking dead. Moving on to season 6. This was such a great season. Oh. So, the wolves attack Alexandria after an attempt to divert a large group of walkers at a nearby quarry goes wrong under Rick's leadership. The group are eventually defeated, with only one member, Owen, being captured. I can't join VC because spoilers, this sucks. I'm sorry. Gonna dip Birmingham, just gonna remember. Okay. How dare I die? Oh no, Noah. Rest in SpaghettiOs. A flashback episode fills in Morgan's adventures since we last saw him. He's now a pacifist, refusing to kill, Early on in the season, Maggie also reveals she's pregnant with Glenn's child. Quickly, because it isn't mentioned specifically in here, but Morgan is a really cool dude. I think there might be a picture of him. There's gonna be a picture of Morgan somewhere, and I'll point him out when I can. But he is a really great representation of schizophrenia and just like general mental illness, and I just really appreciate him as a character. So, yeah. Okay. The leader of Alexandria, Deanna, is bitten by a walker and dies, while Alexandria is completely overrun by walkers. The undead are eventually beaten back, but Carl is shot in the eye by Ron, an Alexandrian trying to escape with his family after a tussle between he and Rick. Later in the season, after the wolves have been dispatched, a new group emerges, the Saviors. They continually take Alexandria's supply, which forces the town, now led by Rick, to broker a deal with the Hilltop. Carol and Maggie are kidnapped by the Saviors, but eventually escape, while Alexandria's doctor, Denise, is also killed by prominent member Dwight. Carol ends up leaving Alexandria, but is pursued by the Saviors. She's eventually rescued by Morgan and taken in by a new community. Elsewhere, Negan makes his mark. The leader of the Saviors introduces himself by intercepting the survivors en route to the Hilltop to help a heavily pregnant Maggie. The season ends with Negan killing an unseen member of the group with his barbed wire bat, Lucille. Key points. So the wolves invade Alexandria, but are swiftly defeated. The leader of Alexandria, Deanna, dies. Maggie reveals she's pregnant. Rick becomes the new leader of Alexandria, but he basically already was. Carl is shot in the fucking eye. The Saviors are introduced, robbing much of Alexandria's supplies and capturing various members of the group. Alexandria forms a pact with the Hilltop. The leader of the Saviors, Negan, arrives and kills an unknown group member. So the deaths are Eastman, Morgan's mentor, Deanna, Jesse, Sam, and Ron, Denise, and then an unseen person who you totally can't see the name of. Moving on to season 7, and this is Morgan. This is my favorite schizophrenic character. Here's Carl, who's now missing an eye. And look how much, like, older Carl is. He's so much older. Anyways, this is Shiva. Yeah, pretty cool. The king, Ezekiel. So, lots of stuff going on. So, we are on season 7, and we are almost at the 2-year mark. Not quite, which, like, is super confusing, because Carl looks like this, and when Carl went into the apocalypse, I think he was, like, 12, so he's, like, either 14 or 15 in this, and the timeline is really confusing, but I know it's also because just, like, the actor, like, it is growing, obviously, so there's stuff with that. But anyways, the season 6 cliffhanger is revealed. Negan kills Abraham as well as Glenn because Daryl is literally an idiot and got Glenn killed by just, like, charging towards people and, like, trying to hit people. So anyways, Daryl is also brought in and held captive by the Saviors, and he's tortured, and they play this song. I think it's called Easy Street, just, like, on loop, and it's like, we're on Easy Street, and it feels so sweet, and the world is but a treat when you're on Easy Street, and I'm breaking out the good champagne. Anyways, that playing for, like, 18 hours a day is kind of a lot. It breaks you. So, yeah. Anyways, the people who took Carol and Morgan in are also revealed to be the Kingdom, and they're led by the eccentric Ezekiel, who his people refer to him as the King, and he also keeps a tiger for a pet, because he used to be a zookeeper. Daryl wasn't an idiot, he was literally losing his mind. Yeah, but, like, it's complicated. I love Daryl. I am a Daryl stan. So, like, I get it. But, like, this was so obviously a situation where, like, he should not have done that. And, like, I can understand, like, anger taking over. But, like, this was bad. Like, this was real. This was, like, the fuck up of all fuck ups. So, it was not good. So another group is introduced after Tara is swept away on a supply run gone wrong when she, like, falls off this bridge. And she ends up at Oceanside, which is an all-female community, because they tried to fight the Sanctuary. Like, all their men went to go fight in the Sanctuary, and they all died. So now they are a all-female community. Oh my god, what? Where'd you, what?
All-female community.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Lesbian heaven.
I know. It actually looked, it's a great community. So the saviors continue to make those at the hilltop in Alexandria live in fear, including killing Dr. Olivia, while Daryl eventually escapes from his confinement. At the mid-season finale, Negan takes Eugene and also stabs Spencer, Deanna's son, which eventually drives Rick to bring the fight to the saviors. Rick's group joins forces with the Kingdom and also encounters the Scavengers, led by Jadis, a group that has no stake in the oncoming war. Jadis, though, tells Rick to bring her group guns so they can help fight against the saviors. Negan's right-hand man, Dwight, also wants to take down Negan. The season culminates. I have words that work. The season culminates in a standoff at Alexandria, with Sasha committing suicide inside a coffin, with the aim being to kill Negan. Though she fails thanks to the Scavengers aligning with the Saviors, the Hilltop and Kingdom eventually ride to Alexandria's rescue while Negan retreats. Yippee! So the key points is Glenn and Abraham are killed by Negan. Daryl is captured by the Saviors. Tara arrives at Oceanside. The Kingdom is introduced and allies with Alexandria. Rick meets the Scavengers, led by Jadis. Sasha kills herself, and the Scavengers betray Alexandria. Okay, yeah, I was like, hold on, because this slide looks very similar to this slide, and so I was like, huh? What just happened? Anyways, the deaths. So, Glenn, Heath, Olivia, Spencer, Richard, Benjamin, and Sasha. Click. Season 8, which this is the season that me and the wife are on right now. I am aware that most people really, really like this season. I am not of those people. I personally don't care for season 8, but that's just me. So anyways, season 8 steps up with the conflict between the saviors and the remaining communities. Sanctuary, the Savior's home base, is attacked and overrun with walkers early on in the season. The group hit back by massacring several members of the Kingdom and Ezekiel's tiger Shiva. In a blast from the past, Morales, way back in season 1, the guy, like the father that I was telling you guys about to remember, he returns as a member of the Saviors.
It all returns.
Though he is swiftly dispatched by Daryl. Like, him and Rick were trying to have a convo. He was gonna, like, kill Rick. Anyways, Eugene also works on the side of the Saviors early in Season 8, though works at a plan to turn against them. Maggie's group encounters Georgie, who makes a quick stop at the hilltop to promise them plans and essential knowledge for a new future. A new member joins the group, the Doctor, Sadiq. He's there while Carl gets bitten by a walker during their journey to Alexandria. Carl later kills himself instead of turning, but not before writing letters to his family and to his friends and family, including Negan, reminding them of the good in the world. Negan, meanwhile, has internal conflict to deal with. His trusted lieutenant, Simon, massacres every scavenger except Jadis, despite this going against Negan's orders. Back at the now reclaimed sanctuary, and with the blind and sick Gabriel in tow, Negan kills Simon, but Dwight's newfound alliance with Rick is discovered, forcing him to leave for good. This greatly reduces Negan's might, and the final blow comes when the Saviors' attempt to kill Rick blows up in their face. Eugene sabotages their ammo. Rick finally defeats Negan in a one-on-one fight and slices his neck, but he lets Negan live because he remembered Carl's parting words of forgiveness. And then I cried my fucking eyes out. So, yeah, the key points is the communities attack the sanctuary, making it overrun with walkers. Morales returns and is killed by Daryl. Many citizens of the kingdom and Ezekiel's tiger Shiva are killed by the saviors or by zombies. Specifically, Shiva was killed by zombies, but like whatever. Carl befriends Sadiq, a doctor, and then literally gets bit, like right then and there. Eugene helps the saviors escape the sanctuary. The Hilltop befriends Georgie. Negan retaliates against Alexandria. Carl is bitten in the aftermath and later dies. Negan's new lieutenant, Simon, wipes out the scavengers, though Jadis lives. Gabriel goes blind in one eye. Negan kills Simon. Dwight escapes from the Saviors. The Saviors' plan to kill the remaining Alexandrians backfires, literally. Rick defeats Negan, though lets him live as a prisoner in Alexandria. And then the deaths of at least the named characters are Mara, Morales, Eric, Shiva, Carl, like all the fucking scavengers, Dr. Harlan Carson, and Simon. So season 9, I think I hate season 9, like, even more than season 8. I actually stopped watching the first time when season 9 showed up because of how much I hated it. Which says something, because this is still my favorite piece of media. I just don't like the following seasons, So season 9, and the year is 3 to 10. So we have some big skips. So The Walking Dead season 9 follows on from the aftermath of Negan's defeat and concerns the insubordination of both the Saviors and the Hilltop's former leader, Gregory, who bowed to Negan's demands in the past. Gregory is swiftly dealt with, executed by new leader and now mother to baby Herschel, Maggie, after a failed assassination attempt, while some of the Saviors clash with Rick's group and a handful are even taken by the Oceanside group, which leads to a full-scale revolt. There are more hopeful developments, however, as Carol and Ezekiel's relationship blossoms, and Carol has long hair now. During the riot, Rick's attempt to redirect a herd of oncoming walkers leads to him falling off his horse and being seriously wounded. In a last act of sacrifice, he blows up the then-just-finished bridge to stop the walkers encroaching on any communities. He appears to die in the eyes of Daryl, but is miraculously rescued by Anne, the former Jadis, who has been in league with a new group, who takes him away on a helicopter. After Rick's apparent death, a 6-year time jump takes place, and, in the interim, Maggie leaves Hilltop to join Georgie's group. Rick's daughter, Judith, now forms a key part of the outreach project to help survivors in the wild. One such group, Magna, Yumiko, Luke, and Connie, are eventually taken in, despite Michonne's distrust of outsiders, as shown by her scar. Once we come to learn I cannot talk. One we come to learn was a result of believing the intentions of a woman and a group of children. Michonne had to massacre the children to escape, as shown in a flashback episode. Finally, the Whisperers enter the picture. Led by Alpha, the group of walker-skinned adversaries kill Jesus, after her daughter, Lydia, is taken in by the Hilltop. Alpha strikes back at the fair, which is originally designed to reconnect the kingdom, Hilltop, and Alexandria. The Whisperers kill several, including Carol and Ezekiel's adoptive son, Henry, Tara, and Enid, and the kingdom falls. The season ends with a mysterious voice being heard over a radio. So the key points are that the Saviors struggle to adapt to life post-Negan. Maggie gives birth to her son Herschel with no complications. Gregory is executed after his assassination plot is foiled. Rick supposedly dies, but is rescued by Anne or Jadis and taken away on a helicopter. The communities fall out of contact after a 6-year time jump. The Whisperers are introduced and kill Jesus. Alpha's daughter Lydia is taken in by Hilltop. The Whisperers kill Henry, Tara, and Enid, and a voice is heard on the radio. And Daryl gets a dog named Dog and has this whole arc where he's just like walking around the woods forever and looking for Rick for like 6 years. And it's very, very wholesome brotherly love shit. So
W.
the deaths are Gregory, Jesus, Tara, Enid, and Henry. So, season 10A. Here is Dog. Hello, Dog. Hello,
What
Dog.
slide are we on?
Probably like 40.
Nice.
Probably.
How
What?
many presentations were there at your party?
9?
Were you there for 9 hours?
No. Alright. So season 10A, which is years 10 to 12. So the season starts with the Whisperers and the Survivors keeping away from each other, something that abruptly changes after a Russian satellite comes crashing down to Earth within the Whisperers' boundaries. Alpha takes issue with the Survivors heading into her land to extinguish the flames from the crashed satellite and demands more land from them. The Whisperers also bolster out their ranks with new Lieutenant Gamma. Ezekiel attempts to commit suicide, but is stopped by Michonne. He later reveals to Sadiq that he has thyroid cancer. Following a Walker attack on Alexandria, Negan, who's back in prison for committing manslaughter to save Lydia, goes missing. He later bumps into Brandon, a former savior who kills a mother and child to impress Negan. In turn, Negan kills Brandon, and is then captured by Beta after walking into Whisperer territory. Beta then tests Negan, who manages to pass and seemingly aligns with Alpha. Alpha has been telling other Whisperers that she killed her daughter, Lydia, which is a lie. When Carol and Daryl head out to destroy Alpha's Walker horde, and instead capture a Whisperer, they realize their prisoner believes Lydia is dead. Carol vows to reveal the truth to the Whisperers. Meanwhile, the captured Whisperer is killed by Dante, who Sadiq soon realizes is actually a Whisperer spy. Dante strangles Sadiq, but once his true identity is revealed and he's imprisoned, Gabriel kills him in his cell. Around the same time, Michonne, Judith, and Luke travel to Oceanside and meet Virgil, who agrees to show them a valuable weapons cache in return for safe passage back to his family. Carol and Daryl, once again, go looking for Alpha's horde, this time with Aaron, Magna, Connie, Kelly, and Jerry. Carol spots Alpha take chase. I cannot talk. Carol spots Alpha, takes chase, luring the entire cave where they are surrounded by... Can you tell I was tired when I wrote this? There's a cave. The Whisperers keep their walkers in a cave because it's cold and it's away from the sun so they don't decompose. That's what I was trying to say. So the key points are Negan joins the Whisperers, Ezekiel has cancer, Alpha's horde surrounds Carol, Daryl, and others, Michonne, Judith, and others follow Virgil. And then the deaths are Sadiq, Dante, Brandon. Season 10B. So the second half of the 10th season features a cave-in near Hilltop that traps Connie and Magna, though Magna later escapes. Over on the Whisperers side of things, Alpha has to deal with the twin loyalties of new recruit Negan and Gamma, who's having her head turned by the humanity of the survivors. The other main through line for the season, I don't fucking know, is Eugene discovers a new community thanks to Stephanie, a woman communicating to the nervous scientist over the radio. He, Yumiko, and Ezekiel set off in search of the person behind the mysterious voice, and also come into contact with a quirky individual who goes by the name Princess. The Whisperers and the survivors eventually clash, with Hilltop being razed to the ground. During the heat of battle, Judith kills a Whisperer, her first in the series if you're keeping track, which yes, I am, and Gamma is killed by Alpha. In a surprise twist, or maybe not given its history, Negan kills Alpha and reveals he has been in cahoots with Carol the entire time. So Michonne's time with Virgil goes less well. She's imprisoned by the man on an island, but eventually breaks free, attacks Virgil, and escapes. Via walkie-talkie, she tells Judith that she's heading off to find Rick, so she basically just fucking abandons Judith. For now, that's the last we see of Michonne in the main series. Later on, Virgil meets Connie, who has just escaped from the cave-in during the mid-season premiere. Beta, having taken control of the Whisperers after Alpha's demise, draws a large horde of walkers towards the remaining survivors from Hilltop who have gathered in a hospital. Fortunately, a returning Maggie helps turn the tide, and survivors infiltrate the Whisperers and Daryl kills Beta. The season ends with Eugene's group being surrounded by soldiers. But wait, there's more. There are 6 bonus episodes referred to as 10C. While they can largely be skipped, they introduce a new villainous group, the Reapers, and dig deeper into Negan's pre-outbreak past with his wife, Lucille, which I loved those fucking episodes, by the way. So just the key points of Season 10B, a cave-in traps Magna and Connie, though both are eventually rescued. Lucille goes off in search of Rick, which, yes, there is another Lucille, not Lucille the Bat. Negan kills Alpha, the Whisperers are all defeated, Maggie returns, and Eugene goes off in search of Stephanie and a new community. The deaths are Gamma, Alpha, and Beta. And finally, Season 11!
Let's go.
Let's go. So Alexandria is running dangerously low on food and supplies, so Maggie leads a group containing Daryl, Negan, and Gabriel to her old home of Meridian to help gather resources. Eugene, Ezekiel, Yumiko, and Princess are held by the Commonwealth community for questioning. The new Reapers group cause havoc. Maggie's allies Cole and Duncan are slain. Daryl finds Dog next to a female Reaper, revealed to be his ex Leah, who he met while he was looking for Rick. He is introduced to the Reaper's leader, Pope, who tests Leah and Daryl by locking them in a hut. After they escape, a clearly uncomfortable Daryl is integrated into the Reapers. Carol and Aaron happen across the scattered remains of the Whisperers. Aaron tortures their leader, which leads to information about the missing Connie. Over in the Commonwealth, Yumiko catches up with her brother Tomi. Eugene and his crush Stephanie attempt to contact Alexandria, but are stopped and imprisoned. They are eventually released on the orders of the slippery deputy governor, Lance Hornsby. The Reapers are on the tail of Maggie's group near Meridian, but Daryl aids their escape. Leah kills Pope after having enough of his disregard for whether Reapers lived or died. Daryl tries to convince her to leave the Reapers and join Maggie's group, but she refuses. Leah orders the Reapers to attack the group, a decision she'll later regret, and Alden dies during the supply run. But wait, there's more. A storm hits Alexandria, and walkers enter the slowly flooding house where some of our survivors, including Judith, Aaron, and Rosita, are holed up. If there's anything this lot do, though, it's getting themselves out of stupid and sticky situations, so they make it out through just in time to welcome Maggie, Daryl, and Co., who return with much-needed food. The storyline jumps forward in time 6 months, and picks up with most of the main characters having relocated to the Commonwealth, and several of them struggling to stomach the vast class divide within the well-off society. Elsewhere, it depicts Maggie standing off against a Commonwealth army led by Daryl at the gates of a ruined hilltop. After Eugene tells her he loves her, Stephanie disappears. He confronts Lance when he spots her plotting with him and is told that Stephanie isn't actually Stephanie, but a plant called Shira, who was used to get the location of Alexandria out of Eugene. Later, a mysterious woman named Max approaches Eugene and informs him that she was actually the one talking with him on the radio. Carol calls in a favor with Lance, who bumps Ezekiel's name up in the surgery waiting list. His tumor is successfully removed, which inspires him to open up a special clinic with Tomi. But there's more! There's more! Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. There's more. There's more. As some of the residents of the Commonwealth go missing, Lance and his troopers take control of Alexandria, Hilltop, and Oceanside. Lance flips a coin to decide the fate of Oceanside's residents. When Leah attacks Maggie, Daryl is forced to kill her. Pamela strikes a deal with Carol to present Lance as a scapegoat for the missing residents. But their plan hits a snag when Max and Eugene spark riots by broadcasting a recording they took of Sebastian championing the Commonwealth's elitist attitude. During the hijacked event, Sebastian attempts to murder Max by pushing her into a walker, but Eugene intervenes, resulting in Sebastian getting bitten and turning. Hellbent on seeing Eugene convicted of murder, Pamela throws Lance in jail, has her troopers kidnap our survivors, and tries to force Yumiko to persecute him, but the latter resists and tells Pamela that she's going to defend him instead. The kidnapped heroes are sent to work in a hard labor camp, dubbed Outpost 22, which is actually Alexandria, which sees Daryl, Carol, Maggie, Rosita, and others set out on a rescue mission. Carol and Daryl break Lance out of prison to help them find their friends, and when he is of no use to them anymore, Carol shoots him in the neck with an arrow. But wait, there's more! This is a really, fast-paced season. So after liberating the inmates, the gang takes the train back to the Commonwealth to overthrow Pamela, and Judith gets shot in the process. But she lives. She's okay. A horde of smart zombies make their way into the community, which leads Pamela to order her troopers to divert the swarm to the lower class areas to give the rich folk more time to escape. Daryl and Co. intercept her and force Pamela to open up the gates to the estates so that all living residents can take shelter there. They get as many people to safety as they can before rigging the place with explosives and blowing up the herd. Mercer arrests Pamela for her crimes. Rosita dies, having succumbed to a walker bite on her back, before the gang claim the Commonwealth and restore Alexandria and Hilltop to their former glory. 1 year on, the show reveals Ezekiel, Carol, and Mercer have taken on leadership roles within the former. The series ends with a split sequence that reveals Rick on the run from the Civil Republic military and Michonne in full samurai gear galloping towards the biggest horde of walkers the horror drama has ever seen. So the key points, because there's a lot. So Eugene, Yumiko, Princess, and Ezekiel enter the Commonwealth. Leah kills Pope. The Reaper attacks Maggie's group. The storm hits Alexandria with Judith, Rosita, and Aaron placed in danger as walkers approach. Alden turns into a walker while out looking for supplies. Daryl kills Leah. Pamela's son Sebastian is killed during a Commonwealth riot. Carol kills Lance. Lydia loses an arm after being bitten by a walker. Negan apologizes to Maggie. Mercer and the gang arrest Pamela. Rosita dies after being bitten by a walker. The group claim the Commonwealth and restore Alexandria and Hilltop. And there were 11 deaths, which this is the most amount of, named character deaths in the show. So we have Roy, Cole, Frost, Jensen, Duncan, Alden, Pope, Carver, Leah, Ian, Toby, Carlson, Sebastian, Lance, Jules, Luke, and fucking Rosita. And that's it! We did it! We did it, chat. We did it. Yippee. What do we think? What did we think of it? Did you hate it?
It was good.
It was good. Are you sure?
I like it.
You like it?
Yes, it was very autism.
It was very autism.
Yep.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being neurotypical and 10 being autism, how autism was it?
12.
12. Fantastical. Yes, you did get bit, Sebastian. I'm very sorry. Okay, well, that's all I had. So.
Well done.
Thanks, I appreciate you. Alright, well, I won't keep you guys any longer than I have to.
Like the stream like the stream.
Oh my god. Okay.
Sorry, I forget that you have more rules than mine.
I do. Unfortunate. Okay, good night, guys. Get sleep, have a snack, eat food, drink water. Bye-bye.
Like the goddamn stream.